On the surface, you might not connect fighting fires to cancer, but the connection is there and it's real. In fact, cancer is now the leading cause of death for firefighters, outpacing heart issues.
Every house that we go into in today's world has contents that are built mostly out of prefab or plastics. And those plastics at any thermal barrier cause carcinogens. And those carcinogens are absorbed, inhaled, or ingested. And those are the three track paths that kind of come into play when you think about our interaction that we have. We're protected, and our gear protects us from the heat. Our gear protects us from most of those things, but your face and your throat and your neck area are just volatile for that to happen as far as contact or absorption or an inhalation, because you breathe in and you breathe out.
Tim Trainor and a few of his colleagues created the Hoods for Heroes Foundation in 2016. The goal is to provide these protective hoods to each firefighter in Minnesota to protect the neck and face area from the carcinogens produced when fighting fires.
You have a 60% chance of interacting in some form of a fire, car fire or home fire, with the susceptibility of contracting some form of cancer. Plain and simple, just a number that basically can actuate into the volatility of this job. And with hundreds of millions of fires, across the country, it's right there.
The hoods can be used multiple times but need special cleaning after each fire. As you might expect, they're expensive, about $150 a piece. There is some state funding for equipment, but not nearly enough to support firefighters statewide. Did you know 92% of Minnesota's firefighters are volunteers? Only Vermont has a higher percentage of volunteer firefighters than Minnesota. That includes Tim. He's actually the corporate chef at General Mills. He traded a passion for criminal justice for cooking and baking, a much safer choice.
I always had a passion for food. I was standing around my grandmother's, great-grandmother's, baking, cooking, and just having fun with food. But ironically, I wrestled, so I didn't get to eat a lot of food. So it was kind of that, all right, let's do this. And then finally my wife just said, why don't you go to culinary school? It's what you're passionate about.
It's that passion that drives Tim to help Minnesota's firefighter community. It brought him to the Randy Shaver Cancer Research Fund. And to date, the Shaver Fund has allocated $75,000 to provide 18 fire departments statewide with approximately 300 protective hoods. We see this partnership as incredibly important. These are real-life heroes, the men and women on the front line protecting us every day. The last thing they should be worrying about when doing that is cancer.
The joy that comes to my face when I get to go out to these departments or see these departments show up at our golf event is everything, because they need it, and they need it. And you go into their halls and you see their gear, and it is old, it is tired, it's expired. And this little piece is just that other piece of help that kind of bridges that gap for the comfort and the well-being and knowing that somebody cares.